All right, how's it going, everybody? So, it's the morning after the day after the big dump. So, we're gonna look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. This is just a static video. It's been highly requested. Because some people don't have time to watch the long live streams. And this basically is just a quick summary of what you can expect. So, looking at Bitcoin here, this is our bearish engulfing candle we had. We fell pretty dramatically yesterday. We fell from about 10,200 to we hit, I know we hit about 10,300 last night. I'm sorry, 9,300. So, looking at AgroCap, you should still technically, if you're using your 3-hour, you would be short from about 10,005, 10,006. That's about 10,600. And then the 5-minute just absolutely nailed the call here with the short indicator about 10,200. So, overall, I generally, as we talked about yesterday on the stream, it's not a good idea to when you have a massive move to the downside trying to scalp. Usually because it's, especially if you're using leverage, you're going to be paying interest when you're just going to be consolidating. Generally, if we were to flip this, to the upside, it would be kind of like a bull flag, or, as lately what Bitcoin likes to do is the Bart Simpson pattern. So you can tell after we had our nice consolidation here, we threw a nice short signal here at about 9,700. And now we kind of, we had another, we had another red candle down to the downside, and now we're kind of just, honestly, it kind of feels like bearish consolidation. So if we go to our 4-hour, you can see we just about almost touched the bottom support of our box. If we look at Market Cipher, because it's very important to identify your environment, you're building some negative momentum here, but your RSI, we hit the bottom, and now we're starting to point up. Go to our 3-hour, you can still see it. If you're not, if you don't have Market Cipher, especially Market Cipher B, then definitely use your MACD. It's not going to be as sensitive as what the blue wave is on Market Cipher, but I use these tools for years, guys. The MACD will work just fine for you. It's just you don't get a visual of it being rounded off as easily because your MACD just goes to a lighter shade. When you're losing that momentum of that wave or that part of the MACD. But if you can see here, this is our triple MACD bearish divergence we were talking about. We had our nice little shot to the downside. We had a little reaction, and then we had obviously, our much bigger reaction. So if we go to our 1-hour, you can definitely see the red money flow. We're just insanely red right now. So if we can form some bullish divergence here, we could honestly have a nice pop to the upside. Let's just go to one of our closer. We'll do a 30-minute. Yeah, and this is kind of what I'm looking for, guys. How I was talking about bearishly consolidating. It looks like we're definitely, you could see how we formed a lower wave. But if you look, it's not that powerful. If you go to our anchor blue wave right here, it's pretty apparent we're making a lower high. So maybe we consolidate. Maybe this was the little pump from 9.3. Maybe we go up a little bit. But right now it's looking like we're in a lower high. So we're sitting. Let's get rid of this box over here. So you can see our lower high. We had our giant fall. We consolidated, had our next fall. And, now we're just consolidating in our green box. This green box goes from about 9,250 to about 9,500. That doesn't mean you can't try shorting in here. All this simply means is it's going to be an inherent amount of extra risk trying to open a short in this box. Because if we zoom out here and we go to the 4-hour, you can see here, yes, if we do break this, you do have a last line of hope at 9,001. But in my, this is my opinion. If we break 9,080, 9,100, it's going to get pretty nasty. I think once we break 9,100, we're going to see 8,800. I'm thinking very, very quickly, like probably within an hour. Bitcoin generally likes to make its giant moves, pretty quickly, especially once the move starts going. So, we're in this box right now. I'd kind of like to wait and see how we react. We were in the 9.3s early this morning. We're in the 5s. Maybe that was enough to kind of reset the RSI, reset, you know what I mean? Give the chart a little bit of a break before we make our next decision. So, just to reiterate, 9,250 to 9,500 is our support. Now, when I mean support, that just means in here that you have a very high chance of bouncing at any point in this box, more directly towards the bottom and the top. The middle, obviously, it's our support area, but when I do these boxes, I'm more emphasizing the top and the bottom half of this box is the major support levels. And then, of course, your 9,001. Now, if you're trying to look for resistance, our resistance starts at about 9,750, 9,800, all the way up to about 10,000. This was actually our support box. But when you break when you break support, it theoretically becomes resistance. And if we zoom in here, you can see we have a candle touch pretty much right on this box right here. So we have confirmed that this is now resistance starting at 9,750. So, and this is the thing we've been talking about on stream. Okay, we're good. So, we've been talking about this on stream for a while now. I've been honestly talking about it for over a month now. We are now below our EMA 100. Our daily candle closes in roughly like 6-7 hours. So, we're going to be live for this. I'm going to show my dedication to you guys. I'm a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan. My Chiefs are playing tonight, but I'm going to go ahead and stream. Maybe it's probably going to be in my room tonight because I'd like to watch the Chiefs in the background. Maybe I can bring my TV in the office. We'll play it by ear, but we are going to be here to watch this daily close. This is a very important number, and it's about 9,750 is the EMA 100 right now. If you've been a part of our community, been watching the streams, I am predicting a possible bear trend, a 20-30% drop if we can break and close under this, as we have not done this since about February of late, or earlier this year when the bull run, before it really got going. So we're going to be live to watch this. To reiterate, you have your support box, 9,250, 9,300 to about 9,005. Anywhere in that box, emphasizing really on the bottom, which is about 10.3, and then the 10.5. That's going to be your support with your resistance. But let's just play it easy, 9,800 to 10,000. So we're going to look at Ethereum. I bet Ethereum honestly had a pretty nice drop. Ethereum, when you have giant downturns in Bitcoin, Ethereum just doesn't seem to fall short of finding sellers. I'm serious. I don't think it matters if Ethereum's at $10,000, $1,000, $100, or $10. They're gonna just have an excess of sellers at all time. But looking at Ethereum here, our current price is 169, so we are under our support box, roughly at about 170. So let's pull this out. Let's pull this up. If we look out here on the daily, this right shoulder definitely, we're now farther than this. So we're definitely not going to be forming a trigger wave here on the daily. And you're showing massive, the money flow is massively red here on Market Cipher B on the daily. If we look at the 4 hour, you can just see it's just massively building. It looks like we're rounding this off. That's why I'm kind of having this theory right now. Maybe we can bounce to 9.6, 9.7. Well, for Bitcoin. So Ethereum, maybe we can go to like 175 again. But since we are under that EMA 100, all these assets are going to follow Bitcoin right now. I don't really see Ethereum just randomly separating from Bitcoin and going excessively bullish. But you can see we kind of hit our bottom. We're kind of starting to get around. Let's see if we can move up or if we're just going to round and go back down. And Bitcoin's going to dictate what Ethereum does. You can see here, still massively, your money flow is very in the red. Your bearish momentum is building. I mean, Ethereum just doesn't look the best right now. I guess you could say here on the 15-minute, we did have a little, it's not a beautiful one, but we did have a little trigger wave. It's not really, usually you want to see your trigger wave like maybe out here, but we definitely did, throw a lower area of bearish momentum on our, I guess this would be our blue wave on Market Cipher B. But theoretically, I mean, I guess you could try to count these to make a lower high, and that's maybe why we had a small bounce. But, theoretically, we still, still looking a little bit negative. And this is the extreme short-term time frames. The longer time frames are very much bearish. So if you're going to be looking for support levels on Ethereum, you can see here we had a major and bearish engulfing candle. Started at about 187, 185, went and hit a low of 165. Looks like we had a little bounce to about the 174 area, and now here we are. We're about just under 170 now. So it kind of clarifies. You can kind of see it already. We had a wick, and we actually bounced right off of our EMA 34. I guess this is on the 1 hour. So this is your more short-term chart. This is our 1 hour. You can see we had a wick right off of our 34. If you go over here, you can see it's our pink. If we go to our 4 hour, I just want to see if we can see anything. And this kind of clarifies it. Remember how I was talking about maybe the 173, 175? If we can, if Bitcoin can go up a little bit, the area I'm going to be looking at is your yellow 13 on your EMA, and then you have your red SMA 10. So I don't really see Ethereum going much above 175 unless we're really going to try to flip this trend before the daily close on Bitcoin. If we're going to be looking at support levels, let's get this up here. So if we're hovering right at the bottom of this box, we're literally right, I mean, we are holding on by a thread. This support box goes to about, we're actually just under it. It's about 170. So theoretically, if we keep going a little bit down, we're now going to have to flip this to the short. I'm not short, but we're going to have to flip this box red. If you're trying to find areas of support, now that we've broken, the 170 area, the next point I'm going to be looking at is about roughly at about $160. That's where about this green line is. It's about 160, and then after that, this is our support box we talked about yesterday. About $140. That 140 to 145 mark. I really don't see Ethereum. If Ethereum breaks this 145, 140 support box, it's a pretty strong support box. We've looked at it on the other exchange. It just has a lot of data behind it. It's not going to look good for Ethereum if we break $140. It really won't. But for now, you have your 160, your $160 support. You can pretty much just bet $150 is a psychological number. I don't want to make this just giant confusing or have $15 worth of support. You know what I mean? So you can pretty much bet. Maybe we try to hold the 150. It's a psychological number. But if 160 falls, the next area I'd be looking at is 150, just because it's a psychological number, not because of the technicals. And then, this is our support box here, from about 140 to 145, with your areas of resistance being from 170 to really about that $180 mark. But I really don't see us breaking 175 unless we get really, maybe we get some buy power, and Bitcoin's trying to go above that EMA 100 on the daily. Maybe Ethereum can catch a ride with it. It's very, very possible. Kind of scared to look at this one, XRP. Ooh. So we're just under 26 cents now. I knew this wasn't going to look pretty. So your daily, I don't want to get too hopeful because we tried showing it over here. You can see, theoretically, we did make a lower high and bearish momentum, but the upside, it's so small. I don't even think you can see it. It's literally all the way down here. I mean, the buy volume on XRP is it's terrible. Don't disrespect it. We're traders here. I believe in Bitcoin, but I also long and short, because if you really do believe in Bitcoin in the long term or Ethereum, if you can play both, if you can be a trader, you're going to accumulate more of that cryptocurrency. So when it does hit those targets, you're going to have, you know what I mean? You're going to have a better, I guess it'd be USD value, but you know what I mean. It's all about increasing your value of whatever currency that you prefer or that you like to hold. XRP looks like we could maybe be forming maybe a trigger wave here. Your money flow is massively in the red, but don't get excited, guys. This is on the daily. We saw this coming over here, and seriously, the reaction was it was terrible. There wasn't, there really wasn't much buy volume behind it. We did throw a green dot, but once again, just don't get, I'm not trying to sound like, negative about XRP, but you showed it here as well. On the other side, and look how terrible the reaction was. I mean, you didn't even break across your blue line. It's just and this is just crypto in general, guys. This isn't me just singling out a crypto or this one sucks. It has nothing to do with that. The buy volume on cryptocurrency is just falling off the face of the earth. The only times we're seeing spikes in prices is when the shorts are covering. The longs are just, where are they at? You know what I mean? The buy volume is terrible in cryptocurrency right now. It's really just shorts moving around in the market. When they're increasing their positions, the price is falling. When they're covered to take profit, the price goes up. But the longs, they're just not doing much right now. But you can see we have a much bigger wave on our 4-hour. Maybe we're going to try to pull something off with this. But remember, your money flow, you're super thick right now. So if you can catch some volume on this, you could have a nice punch to the upside. But look at this. It already looks like it's rounding off. It looks like you're already rounding off here. We're not going to call it yet, but it's so minor right now. The buy volume has just disappeared. I guess the 15-minute doesn't look bad, but guys, you're trading in an overall extremely bearish trend. So please, yesterday was a good example. Before you ever trade the smaller time frames, before you ever use AgroCap, Market Cipher, look at your longer time frames and identify the trend you are trading in. Because if you're trading in an overwhelmingly bearish pattern long term, and you see some bullish movement on the 5-minute, the longer time frames are always going to take hold. Now, if you're neutral, like if you're looking, not really more directed towards one direction or another, then the short-term time frames can kind of help you catch that. But right now, you are definitely in a bearish trend. So for me, at least, until the trend reverses, I'm going to be looking to short a pump for a better, if you didn't get in your short yesterday, or even if you did, I would be looking to get a better entry on a short with cryptocurrencies right now. I really would. But you can see here the 15-minute, it looks like you had a nice little pump here, but it's literally, I guess you went up about a cent. The 15-minute doesn't look too bad. If you look at our moving averages, you can kind of see it here. You're starting to get a little bit of roundedness here, so that's good. You're above your EMA 34 on your hourly. And right now we're finding resistance right here. It's right in the middle, and this box needs to now be red, because this is most definitely resistance right now. I'm not sure where oh, there it is. I was like, man, where's it popping up at? I swear it was over here. The point is, guys, this box isn't green anymore. It needs to be red. There you go. It's like, I don't know why it wasn't popping up. So this is red now. You're going to have, so for at least on your short term, you really need to break above, 26, 26.2. So, and you can even see here, you have your EMA 200 right at the top of this. So it's going to be a fight to break above 26.5 cents. It really is. If we look at our 4-hour here, yeah, it's even more obvious. You can see here, we're going to have some stiff resistance here, guys. The CMA 34, which is sitting just above, it's like just under 26.5. It's going to be pretty resilient, but if you can break that, the next area I'll be looking at is about 27.5 cents, with your target of your EMA 100. So just be safe, guys. The trend is overwhelmingly bearish. So this could be this is honestly the prime time to start scalping. We had some areas of consolidation yesterday on all of our cryptocurrencies. Before we go, we'll look at the Bitcoin longs and shorts. Let's just see if anything, pops out. So your shorts are rising. If we go here to the 1 hour. Yeah, so your shorts right now are rising. You had a little bit of a sell-off here. Was it about the 29th? So this could honestly be the small little pump we had here in the morning. So we're gonna watch this closely. So the shorts are rising, and I can pretty much guess the longs are gonna be down. Yeah. So I mean, longs had a nice little dump. You can see this is our sell-off that we had yesterday, where we had that giant bearish engulfing candle. So we're going to be around for all this, guys. So just remember, we are going to have, I'm going to try to do an afternoon stream here, but we're going to have another evening stream just like we always do. I'm going to take one for the team. It's probably going to be a late night TA in my room, probably around 6, 7 o'clock. The Chiefs play at 7, so I'd at least like to be able to watch the game in the background. I hope you guys enjoy these static videos. If you do, hit that like, and if you haven't already, if you're not part of the community, join our Discord, which will be in the description below. And subscribe if you want more of these, these videos. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the Discord.